from the world of John Wick Ballerina, which, by the way, before we continue, is a very stupid title, may I just say. But anyway, it's directed by Wiseman, and it stars Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, and Gabriel Byrne. And in the first John Wick spin-off movie, a young girl called Eve has her father taken from her. She joins the Roma, but after a few years, she seeks revenge on the people that murdered her father. Now, I was very excited for Ballerina. As you people probably know, I'm a massive John Wick fan, and Keanu Reeves is my favourite actor of all time. So whenever there's a new John Wick spin-off or movie announced, I'm excited from the start. And I was very excited for Ballerina. I saw the trailers and they looked very promising. I went into it a little bit cautious because I heard all the behind the scenes stuff where apparently they weren't very happy. Then Chad Stahelski went in to direct a few things. So I was a little bit cautious to see if it was good or not. But I went in the other day and saw it. And I'm happy to say that while Ballerina is easily my least favourite John Wick film, I still thought it was pretty good. The story is very simple in this film, but that's no issue. I'm a big fan of simple revenge stories. They work really well in many action films, and I think when the movie mainly focuses on that main storyline with Eve, trying to find the cult that murdered her father, I think this movie's narrative works really well. But where the problems come from is when this movie tries to stray away from that main narrative. You really like Eve, and you really want to see her get revenge. But the problem with this movie is that so many times it just strays away from that main plot line to other things which just really did not need to be there. For example, there's this mini subplot with a long lost sister, and it's important for like 3 minutes and then it's never spoken about again. It just felt like that they added it, they thought it'd work, they watched a rough cut of the movie, decided that it didn't work, so we're going to have to cut as much of it out as we can, but still try and keep a little bit in there just to not waste the footage or something. I also thought that John Wick's inclusion in this movie didn't exactly make sense. Now, I'm not complaining that he's in this movie because I love Keanu Reeves, as I said. I love him as his character, and it's just great to see him do his thing as him. But his inclusion in the story doesn't make sense in terms of the timeline of the John Wick universe. This is set between 3 and 4. And when you watch those two films, it just really doesn't make any sense to why he'd be in this situation and helping out the Roma. And if anything, you could change him out for any other character, and this movie stays exactly the same. He doesn't really need to be in this movie. He felt very forced in. It's obvious that he was just there to be in the trailer on the posters to get more tickets, which I get it. And don't get me wrong, it's really nice fan service. They don't ruin the character or anything. But his inclusion in the movie just felt a little bit off. I also really did not like the villain in this movie. He is not threatening whatsoever, and he does absolutely nothing. Now, I know people complained about the villain in 4 not doing much, but if you think about it, he did, but he used his power instead of using his skills, which made him more of a threat because he could just send a load of people to kill John Wick with just a click of his fingers. But with this guy, his own followers hardly respect him. And even in the final battle where you think he's going to do something, he just turns into a coward. So he's really not a threat whatsoever. So my issues with this movie did mainly stem from the narrative, but everything else about this movie, I honestly thought it was great. One thing this movie's narrative did really well was with the world building. Now, every John Wick film has some good world building. They expand on the world in really interesting ways. And I think this movie did just that as well. For example, they introduced cults. Now, I understand that the Roma can be deemed as a cult, but they do give people the choice to join them or not. But with this cult, the villains of this movie, they don't give people a chance. They force children into them to become assassins and work for them. So that was a really nice little addition to the world, I think. And I really like the fact that they introduced that major towns and cities know about the events of the John Wick films. Because one thing I've always complained about with the other films is that it's not really established on who doesn't know about all these things and who doesn't. Because it's like normal people just react to it. Like normally, like the other assassins. But in this one, they kind of give some clarification on it, which I think was well needed. But of course, the main draw of these movies is the action. And I'm happy to say that the movie's action is really well done. For the most part. I'm going to be honest with you, the first quarter of this movie, I was getting a little bit worried. Not because the fights were bad, I mean they were choreographed really well, they looked absolutely brilliant. But they just weren't, how can I put it, John Wicky enough. What I mean is that they just felt like regular things. A regular shootout, a regular hand-to-hand combat fight with an ice pick. And yeah, it's well done, but with John Wick films, you need to add a bit of style to them. For example, having a gunfight on the side of a horse. But the first core of this movie doesn't really do that, and I was starting to get a little bit bored. But thankfully, after a while, the movie does up in quality with its action, and I was having a blast. They get really creative throughout the last half of this movie. This stuff with grenades, by the way, this movie loves grenades. They basically worship grenades. There's a gunfight with a flamethrower, which was so cool, easily the best fight in this movie. And they're just all easily recognisable. You can say, oh, that's the one with the flamethrower. Oh, that's the one with the plates. That's the one with the ice skates. And that's what the John Wick films have always been really good at. Technically, I thought the film was really good. Cinematography was absolutely brilliant. I really did like the use of oranges and light blues in this movie. And the music. I've said it many times before. The Castlevania's music. I listen to his stuff a lot now, especially when I'm on runs. His music is absolutely brilliant in these films, as it is in this film as well. Especially in the club scene. The music absolutely slapped. And finally, the acting is all really strong. Ana de Armas, I thought she was absolutely brilliant in this movie, both physical and with her line delivery as well. I thought she delivered the cold personality of Eve really well. And Keanu Reeves as John Wick, I don't think I need to tell you is good. No one else can play this character. Keanu, I love you. Please keep doing what you're doing. So overall, while Ballerina is easily my least favourite John Wick film, I still had a really good time with it. Yes, it does take its time to get going, but when it does, it really is a great time at the cinema. Its narrative can stem away from its main plot a few too many times, leading it to feel a little bit disjointed. But overall, I had a really good time with Ballerina. If you're a John Wick fan, I don't think you'll have an issue getting into this film whatsoever. So from the world of John Wick, Ballerina is going to receive a 7.5 out of 10 from me. And people, that is the end of my review. If you have seen From the World of John Wick Ballerina, do let me know your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day. And see you later.